Alright my friends, so in the last video we have let's say rendered our items on the screen, and here is the final result. Here is our code, right? And now I think we are ready to go ahead. Now up to this point we can do two things. The first one, it is to style this thing right here and make it even look nicer than we have now. Then in the next video we have to extract the code right here for each specific item. All right, for each specific let's say course, we are going to create a component. Now really it doesn't really matter which path you follow. In my case I'm going to style it and make it look a bit nicer so we can understand our code let's say easier than what we have now. So here inside my courses list, I'm gonna right click and choose a new file. I'm gonna call it course list.css. all right, I'm gonna write my code that is related to the CSS part here in this file. Now in the next few videos I'm gonna show you all the available ways that we can write CSS inside React. Okay, because a lot of developers maybe disagree with the way that I am following right here. Now, doesn't matter which CSS way that you are gonna use to write your CSS code. Let's say the structure is still the same. Okay, for me here inside this div right here, which hold all the items, I'm gonna give it class name. Okay, it has to be courses, or feel free to give it any name. In my case I'm gonna go with courses. And for each div right here, okay, this is the div that start after the map. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a class. I'm gonna call it course. It is one course. Okay, and here is courses. Now what I will do, I will go ahead and style it. So I'm gonna target my parent div, which is the courses div. First of all, I'm gonna give it a display to be flex. I'm gonna use flexbox for creating my layout. Okay, I'm gonna give it justify content. Well, for the time being we could have said center. Okay, I'm gonna show you, or let's disable it for now because that won't do anything for the time being. I'm gonna say flex wrap. Come on, flex wrap to be wrap. All right. Now another thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna target my one course, each course individually. I'm gonna give it a width of, let's say 28%, maybe would be a good percentage that we can go with. If we switch back, we can see nothing being applied because first of all we have to import our CSS file. So I'm gonna import, and here we do not need to give it a name. We can directly give it the path. So import, then courses.css like so. Okay, this is the path. If we switch back the web browser, we can see it's start to look a bit nicer, but the problem is that the image now it is bigger than the size of our div. And in order for us to fix this problem, we have to target the course image. Okay, course image like so. I'm gonna give it a width and height, or even you can just assign a width to be 100% of this 28%. all right, if we switch back, we can see now it is much nicer and it is really cool. Now going back to our our justify content, I just want to show you why I have disabled it. Well, the reason behind this is if we set it to be center, I want you to take a look here on our code, and here I'm gonna modify it to be center. You will see the difference. Okay, we are just center our content right here. Now this depends on you. This property depends on you if you want it or not. Well, in my case, maybe I'm gonna leave it or add it. I really do not know here. In my case, what I will do, I will go ahead and give it a width. I don't want it to cover the entire width, so I'm gonna give it a width to be, let's say how about 85%. all right, and in order for me to center it, that won't be center here, I have to center it inside my screen. I'm gonna give it margin from the top and bottom. Let's give it 4 rem, and auto from the left and right, so we can center it in our screen. Another thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give some space between each individual course. Here is the course. I'm gonna give it margin from the top and bottom 2 rem, and from, let's say, left and right, let's go, I don't know, maybe 1.4 rem. Okay, if we switch back, we can see our code like this. Now, just a quick note right here. Now, I am not following the best practices I know in the CSS part, because here we do not want to focus on the CSS. Later on, as I said, and I promise you, I'm going to talk about CSS in depth. For the time being, I just want to get my layout up and running so we can go ahead and really focus on the React part. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I just brought a very basic CSS code, but once again, I promise you, we are going to fix it, okay, and make it a bit nicer than what we have now. So hopefully that makes sense. In the next video, we are gonna first of all extract each individual course into its own component, and also we are gonna write some more CSS. So see you in the next one.